We're ranking the 10 Rolex models every buyer needs to know in 2026, a year when Rolex commands over $10 billion in annual revenue, and retail prices have jumped up to 9%. Created by gray market premiums and artificial scarcity, a two-tier market now forces many collectors to pay far above retail, all for status, signaling, and cosmetic tweaks. This countdown exposes 5 models draining wallets through hype taxes and allocation games, contrasted against 5 that offer real-world value, durable movements, and rational pricing. So, which watch represents the market's worst distortion? Let's break down number 10. In the 10th place, the Rolex Cosmograph Daytona 126500 LN stands as the poster child for market distortion in 2026. The official retail price sits at $16,900, but the gray market median hovers around $32,200, a staggering 90% hype tax. That means a single Daytona now costs as much as 2 Submariners, plus a full service bill, for a watch that shares its core steel case and sapphire crystal with far less expensive models. The caliber 4:131 chronograph movement does add technical cachet, but its production cost uplift does not come close to explaining a $15,000 markup over retail. What really drives the premium is a manufactured scarcity, enforced by allocation scorecards and VIP lists, despite Rolex producing nearly 1 million watches a year. The mythology exploded after the $17 million Paul Newman auction, fueling a frenzy that is more about status signaling than horological merit. For buyers, knowledge, not brand mystique, is the only protection. Paying double for a Daytona is pure speculation, not value. Number 9. The Rolex GMT-Master II 16710 BLRO, better known as the Pepsi, is the definition of a color tax trap. The official retail price in 2026 is $10,900, but gray market listings for new models routinely hit $25,000 or more. That is a markup of well over 120%, driven almost entirely by the red and blue Cerachrome bezel, not by movement complexity or materials. Under the hood, the Pepsi uses the same caliber 3285 automatic as the Batman and the Explorer II, both of which sell for thousands less on the secondary market. The only real difference is the color scheme. Yet, buyers pay a premium equivalent to the cost of an entire date just over that iconic two-tone look. Rolex produces nearly 1 million watches per year, but manufactured scarcity and allocation games keep the Pepsi artificially rare. In a two-tier market, status signaling and hype dictate price, while the technical value remains unchanged. Knowledge, not bezel color, is the only protection against paying a steep color tax. 8th place, the Rolex Day-Date 40 in yellow gold, is a masterclass in precious metal markup. The 2026 retail price lands at $48,000, but the real story is in the gold itself. It contains roughly 5 troy ounces of 18-karat gold, with a melt value under $10,000 at current spot prices. That means less than a quarter of what you pay is actual gold. The rest is brand cachet, the President bracelet's reputation, and a hefty surcharge for exclusivity. Even before you leave the authorized dealer, many buyers report a $1,200 allocation fee tacked on just for the privilege of skipping the waitlist. Unlike the Daytona or the Pepsi, the gray market premium here is minimal. Listings hover near retail, with only special dials commanding a real markup. The real sting isn't scarcity, but the sheer gap between intrinsic value and sticker shock. For buyers, it's a reminder. The Day-Date 40 isn't priced for its metal, but for its myth. Knowledge, not mystique, is the only defense against the surcharge sting. Number 7. The Rolex Datejust 41, reference 126334, is where configuration costs spiral out of control. The base Datejust 36 carries a manufacturer-suggested retail price of $8,100. But simply sizing up to the 41mm and adding popular upgrades, like a Jubilee bracelet, a fluted bezel, and a blue or Wimbledon dial, can push the retail price to $16,300. That is a near 100% markup for what amounts to cosmetic tweaks, not mechanical improvements. Both the 36 and the 41 use the same caliber 3D235 movement, with an identical 70-hour power reserve and matching accuracy specifications. Yet, the larger case and the flashier configurations command a premium that evaporates the moment you leave the boutique. Secondary market listings on Chrono24 and Bob's Watches show the Datejust 41 routinely reselling for $13,000 to $14,500, an immediate 10 to 20% loss from retail. This is the classic trap. You are paying double for wrist presence and dial color, not for any real upgrade in function or durability. In a market where allocation games and status signaling drive irrational price gaps, the Datejust 41 stands as a warning. Knowledge, not size or shine, is the only protection against the configuration hype tax. Number 6. The Rolex Sky Dweller in yellow gold is where technical prowess collides with cash risk. On paper, this is Rolex's most complex model, a dual time zone annual calendar packed into a 42mm case, powered by the in-house Caliber 9001. The movement alone boasts over a dozen patents and delivers a full year of date accuracy, with just one correction required. But the price of innovation is steep. The 2026 manufacturer suggested retail price lands at $50,850, and gray market listings show wild swings, some $5,000 above retail, others $10,000 below, depending on dial color and market mood. Watch Charts data reveals a plus or minus 10% volatility band, meaning a Sky Dweller can lose or gain the price of a steel Submariner in a single quarter. Unlike a Patek Philippe annual calendar, which holds steady in the $60,000 range, the Sky Dweller's value pinballs with every shift in collector sentiment. Rolex's allocation games and status signaling only add to the chaos, turning a legitimate mechanical achievement into a financial roller coaster. For buyers, the lesson is clear. Knowledge, not complication count, is the only defense against the volatility tax. Number 5. The Rolex Oyster Perpetual 36, reference 124300, sets the benchmark for entry-level value in the 2026 lineup. With an official retail price of around $6,550 and a gray market spread rarely exceeding 5%, this is one of the few Rolex models where the sticker price and street price actually match. There is no allocation game, no VIP lists, and no need to buy less desirable models just to get your name on a waitlist. The Oyster Perpetual 36 is built around the flagship Caliber 3230, a movement shared with the Submariner No-Date, delivering a 70-hour power reserve, 28,800 vibrations per hour, and the latest Chronergy escapement for improved efficiency. This means buyers are getting the full technical package without the hype tax attached to more headline-grabbing models. Watch Charts data shows tight clustering around MSRP, with secondary listings at $6,000 to $6,200, and no sign of the wild price swings or speculative bubbles seen elsewhere in the catalog. For anyone seeking a low-risk, high-quality entry into the brand, the Oyster Perpetual 36 stands as the rational choice, proof that not every Rolex requires a premium just for a place in line. Number 4. The Rolex Submariner No-Date reference 1-4060 stands as the classic tool watch that keeps its value grounded in function, not hype. The 2026 retail price lands at about $10,500, and the gray market median sits near $14,900, a premium under 50%. That is a far cry from the double or nothing markups seen on the Daytona or the Pepsi GMT. Buyers in 2026 are seeing wait times fall to just 4 months at many authorized dealers, according to recent conversations with those dealers, thanks to increased production and less speculative flipping. The Submariner No-Date delivers what matters: 300 meters of water resistance, a scratch-resistant Cerachrome bezel, and the glide lock clasp for tool-free micro-adjustments, features prized by real divers and daily wearers alike. Under the hood, it shares the caliber 3230 movement with the Oyster Perpetual 36, offering a 70-hour power reserve and proven reliability. This movement parity means buyers are not paying a premium for mechanics. They're getting robust, time-tested engineering at a price that tracks much closer to reality. In a market where allocation games and status signaling distort value, the Submariner No-Date offers leverage, a manageable premium, real-world durability, and no need for bundling or VIP lists. For anyone seeking a benchmark Rolex without a hype tax, this is the rational step up. Coming to the top 3, the Rolex Explorer. I reference 124270 delivers heritage without the hype premium. Born from the 1953 Everest expedition, the Explorer's 36mm case and clean, legible dial have always favored function over flash, a design that has barely changed in 70 years. In 2026, the retail price sits at $7,600, with the most recent price hike adding just 2%. On the secondary market, the median listing barely creeps above $7,700, translating to a premium of just 1 to 3%, one of the tightest spreads in the entire Rolex catalog. Buyers report transparent, predictable wait times at authorized dealers, often measured in weeks rather than months, with no need to bundle purchases or curry favor for allocation. The Explorer. I runs on the caliber 3 230 movement, shared with the Submariner, No-Date, and Oyster Perpetual 36, giving it the same 70-hour power reserve and proven reliability as models that carry much higher premiums. What sets the Explorer apart is its refusal to play the two-tier market game. There is no color tax, no manufactured scarcity, and no status signaling required. It is a watch that quietly delivers on its Everest promise, reliability, legibility, and durability, without demanding a hype tax from buyers. In a market obsessed with allocation drama and cosmetic upgrades, the Explorer. I stands as proof that heritage and value can coexist. For those seeking a Rolex that honors its past without inflating its price, the Explorer I offers a rational, quietly persuasive alternative. In second place, the Rolex Explorer 2 Reference 226570 Polar stands as a masterclass in GMT utility without the hype tax. The 2026 MSRP lands at $10,600, and the gray market premium is almost negligible. Recent Chrono24 data puts unworn examples just $200 to $400 above retail. Wait times are measured in months, not years, with most buyers reporting a 3 to 6 month window at authorized dealers. What you get is the full 3285 caliber spec, a 70-hour power reserve, Paraflex shock absorption, and independent hour hand adjustment for true travel functionality. This is the same movement found in the much-hyped GMT-Master II, but without the manufactured scarcity or color-driven premiums. The Polar variant's crisp white dial is a functional choice, not a status signal, and there is no allocation game or bundling required. The spread between retail and secondary price is the tightest in the sports lineup, proving that technical value can exist without artificial barriers. In a market where color and mythology often dictate 5-figure markups, the Explorer 2 Polar offers buyers a rational path. Pay a few $100s over retail, get all the engineering, and skip the two-tier market drama. For anyone seeking real-world utility and enduring value, this is the smart buy. Proof that knowledge, not bezel color, is the only protection against the hype tax. And finally, in first place, the Rolex Datejust 36, reference 126200, defines what value looks like in the 2026 luxury watch market. The official retail price sits at around $8,100, and the gray market premium rarely cracks 10 to 15%, even in sought-after configurations. That means most buyers pay within a few $100s of the manufacturer suggested retail price, an anomaly in a world where hype taxes can double the price of a Daytona or a GMT-Master II Pepsi. Watch Charts data shows a tight cluster of secondary prices, with listings for unworn pieces, typically between $8,600 and $9,300, depending on dial and bracelet. There is no allocation game, no VIP lists, and no forced bundling, just straightforward access to one of Rolex's most versatile classics. Under the hood, the Datejust 36 delivers the full caliber 3235 spec, a 70-hour power reserve, Chronergy escapement, Parachrome hairspring, and a 28,800 vibrations per hour beat rate. This is the same movement you will find in the Datejust 41 and the GMT-Master II, but without the configuration upcharges or the color tax. Every technical benchmark, accuracy, durability, and service intervals is matched or exceeded by the Datejust 36, but at a price that does not penalize buyers for preferring function over flash. The value proposition becomes even clearer when you consider the cost spread. A Daytona at gray market prices can buy you 2 Datejust 36 watches, with enough left over for a full Rolex service. The Datejust 36 offers the same build quality, movement architecture, and daily wear reliability, all without the volatility, wait lists, or speculative risk attached to the headline-grabbing models. For anyone seeking a Rolex that balances heritage, engineering, and value retention, this is the benchmark. Skip the hype. Buy the benchmark. Across all 10 models, one pattern is clear. In 2026, hype tax, color tax, and artificial scarcity distort Rolex prices far beyond intrinsic value. The The true two-tier market isn't about rarity. It's engineered by allocation games and status signaling. Knowledge, not brand mystique, is the buyer's only protection. Skip the hype. Buy the benchmark. Let us know which model shocked you most in the comments.